We'll start with the prayers. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are studying Atma Bodha, text written by Shankaracharya for the beginners of spiritual journey. Whenever one wants to enter the spiritual journey, one doesn't know what he is expected to do. So these texts like Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha give a complete background as to what the spiritual journey is about. Spiritual journey is a long process. One starts with Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, which takes about 6 months. Then one embarks on Bhagavad Gita study. So after Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha is the Bhagavad Gita study, which can last up to 1 year. And then comes Upanishads. There are 10 main Upanishads which students study. That takes another 2 years. So in general, we are talking about a 3-year, 4-year program in which you come to know the nature of the world. It is a different vision which you get after the study. Before the study, you have a certain vision which is called as our normal vision with our normal eyes and ears and sense organs. But when this vision is assisted by Shastram, it gives you a different vision, and that vision is called as moksha. You are free from whatever happens in the world. With reference to your body, with reference to your mind, with reference to the universe, all these are experienced. But then your vision becomes different, and you say that I am not affected by whatever is happening in the world. That is the conviction you get after the study of the entire spiritual text, like Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and Brahma Sutra. Coming back to Atma Bodha, which consists of 68 verses, we are in the third topic, which is the process of self-knowledge. Here is the first time we are trying to understand what is this Atma and what is its nature. Atma means my true nature, my real nature, which I don't know today. This nature I come to know when I study the text and I do the Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads, because these are the texts which reveal that nature. They are called as pramanam, instrument of knowledge. For beginners, what you should understand is Atma is me. I have to know who I am. By knowing who I am, I will know the cause of this entire universe. So the process of knowledge began in the 15th verse and it will go on till the 30th verse. We are in the 25th verse, which we will start now.
आत्मनः सच्चिदंशश्च आत्मनः सच्चिदंशश्च बुद्धेर्वृत्तिरिति द्वयम् बुद्धेर्वृत्तिरिति द्वयम् संयोज्य चाविवेकेन संयोज्य चाविवेकेन जानामीति प्रवर्तते जानामीति प्रवर्तते.
In this verse, Shankaracharya gives a technical point as to how does the notion I come about in this body-mind complex. Everybody says, I am doing this, I am enjoying this, I am seeing this, I am running, I am cooking. How is this I born in this body-mind complex? Very important subject which we must know so that we can then know what is the difference between Atma and Anatma. The first thing which he teaches here is whenever I am saying Aham, I, the first thing you should know is this I is a mixture of the pure consciousness and the buddhi. Buddhi means intellect. So when they join together, the notion I am is born. The notion I know myself and I know the world is born. The 25th and 26th verses are teaching us that Atma by itself is avyavaharyam. Avyavaharya means it is of the nature of sakshi. The body is a mixture of that sakshi and the thought or buddhi. But there is an Atma which is existing. What we want to discover is what is that Atma? That Atma is defined as Sat Chit Ananda. We have seen this in Atma Bodha. So whenever the buddhi, mind, is in proximity of Atma, like whenever the mirror is in proximity of your face, automatically a reflection is formed in the mirror. The mirror it constitutes our buddhi. Mirror can be brought and mirror can be taken away. Buddhi is manifest form and buddhi goes to unmanifest form. When is buddhi in the manifest form? In the dream state and waking state. When is the buddhi in unmanifest form? Sleep state. So in all the three states or in two basic states, dream and waking, the I know thought rises. Atma I, the reflected I, called as Chid Abhasa I, try to understand these technical words. I'm introducing them. Chid Abhasa. Chid Abhasa means a reflected consciousness. So the moment you see your body in the waking state, what you should say? I am seeing the reflection of that consciousness in this body. Whenever you are in the sleep state, what you should know, the mind which was awake has gone into manifest form. Therefore, I don't know this world which is outside the body. Vyavahara, transaction, is of two types. One is jnana vyavahara, which means the transaction involving the organs of knowledge, which means our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. Karma vyavahara means transactions where action is involved. Whenever we use the sense organs, we use the term pramata, pramanam, prameyam. Knower, known, and the process of knowing. When we are using the organs of action, we use the term karta, karma, karanam. The doer, the object of action, and the doing process. Now, who is the knower? The knower becomes this doer, enjoyer. And who is the knower? Remember, it is chid abhasa, reflected consciousness plus the mind or buddhi. Now, who is involved in all the transactions? Ahamkara. Ahamkara is this reflection which is born and gone, born and gone. So, can we take the world as really there? When the Chidabhasa is gone in sleep, for me, for my experience, there is no world. For others, it may be there. But I am now inquiring, who am I? That I which knows the world in the waking also knows that there is no world when I go to sleep. Mind and thought. In the mind, what we say is there is Samanya Chaitanyam. There is a big reflection of consciousness in the mind. Samanya. Samanya means general consciousness. For example, if I'm not thinking about anything, if I'm not seeing anything in particular, I am conscious or not? Yes. That is called as Samanya Jnana. Suppose I start working on the laptop and I'm busy doing some work. That time it is the consciousness which is reflected in the thought, and then knowledge arises. Whenever knowledge is there about any work which you're doing, it is called as Visesha Jnanam, Visesha Chidabhasa. So there are two types of Chidabhasa: Samanya Chidabhasa, Visesha Chidabhasa. If you have understood that, then this chart becomes very easy to understand. The first thing you should know is the original consciousness is the only sentient substance in the entire creation. And that consciousness by itself is not a knower. That consciousness becomes a reflection in a small body, and it becomes a reflection in the big body. Now, Chidabhasa number one is exposed to the external world. Our eyes, ears are all exposed to the external world. So there is a knower who is born of the world, which is consisting of the consciousness with the sense organs. And the mind. Mind is always there. You see, in the previous step, I said Samanya Chaitanyam is the consciousness in the mind. Vishesha Chaitanyam means it is a reflected consciousness in a thought where knowledge arises. Reflecting medium or reflecting material, which is the mind, by nature it is jada. That is why in a dead body you will have the mind, but there is no thought happening. There is no process of knowing which happens. It is jada. There is no more reflection passing through the body mind complex. Mind has already left the body. So, when the reflected consciousness gets into the world, we get knowledge of the world. Thought of the objects which are formed, they gives the knowledge of the world. So this is the basic chart to tell you there is reflected consciousness in the Chidabhasa, in the Buddhi, and that Chidabhasa is the cause of knowledge of the world. Who is a knower? Jnata. Jnata means a knower, which is basically the mind. In sleep, the knowerhood is gone. I don't know myself. That means what? That Chid Abhasa which was there is no longer there. Reflected consciousness is located in the mind as well as the thought. When it is located in the mind, it is called as a knower. Big reflected Chidabhasa, consciousness number 1 and 2. When it is reflected in a specific knowledge thought pattern, it is reflected conscious number 2. So, Jnata Chidabhasa is the knower. That means as soon as I wake up in the morning, first thing I realize is I know the world. I know myself. That is called as the consciousness number 1. Consciousness number 2 is specific knower. I am in Singapore, I am in India, I am in the US, I am in London. These are all specific knowledge which is born, which is called as Vishesha. When both this Samanya Jnanam and Vishesha Jnanam gets resolved, then we don't experience the world. Original consciousness continues to exist. That is eternal. The Chit Abhasa comes and goes. Reflection comes and goes. So in meditation, if you want to really understand who you are, what will you meditate? You meditate on this knowledge, which we have got in this verse. I am the pure consciousness. I appear as a waker and a dreamer, as reflected consciousness, and I experience the world of objects. My original nature is what? I am world free, body free, mind free consciousness. That chit is called as avyavaharyam. It is called as uh, Sakshi. There's so much of information we are gathering in one verse. See, that is the beauty of Shankaracharya. He packs a lot of knowledge in just 2 lines. Next verse.
आत्मनो विक्रिया नास्ति आत्मनो विक्रिया नास्ति बुद्धेर्बोधो न जात्विति बुद्धेर्बोधो न जात्विति जीवः सर्वमलं ज्ञात्वा जीवः सर्वमलं ज्ञात्वा ज्ञाता द्रष्टेति मुह्यति ज्ञाता द्रष्टेति मुह्यति.
The gist of this mantra is that reflected consciousness with the mind is called as jiva, individuality. I am the father, I am a mother. These are all individuals. Now, Shankaracharya says individuality which is born because of the reflection in the mind is a delusion. What a bold statement he is making. See, the significance of this verse is very important. All along, we must understand we are trying to segregate the pure consciousness from the reflected consciousness and the mind. That is the job of Shankaracharya. He is trying to do that through these verses and making us understand I am the pure Sakshi, I am the pure witness of this entire world. I am the witness of one mind. Through that mind, I experience a specific world. So this I know is a ahamkara. And this I know is a delusion. What is a delusion? The reflection is a delusion. The original object, original face is the ultimate reality. Atma, the consciousness, is Satyam. I, the Chidabhasa, the Jiva, is Mithya. Ahamkara, ego, is Mithya. Mithya means it appears, but it is not real. Like reflection appears, but it is not real. Reflection goes away when the mirror is gone. There's no more reflection. Similarly, when the mind goes away, either in sleep or when the body dies, or in pralayam, when the mind is not there, there is no more chidabhasa. There is no more reflection. I, the Atma consciousness, continue to be there all the time. And what is the nature of that consciousness? Nirvikara. There is no modification in the case of consciousness by itself. It is always of the nature of knowledge. I am, I am, I am. Atma never does anything of its own accord. But with the help of intellect and the jnana indriyas and the karma indriyas, it becomes the doer of action, enjoyer of action. Can I see that Atma at any time? Can I see? The question is, can I see my Atma? Shankaracharya says, can you see your original face directly? Without a mirror, you can never see. Similarly, without the mirror of consciousness, you can never know the consciousness. End of transactions is not my end. Normally, what we say, I went to sleep. And then nothing was there, and that's the end of. But actually, are you existing in that sleep or not? Shankaracharya wants you to focus on that aspect and say that I who exist in the sleep state as the pure I, as the original consciousness, is the reality. Dakshinamurti Stotram, Vishwam, the first Stotram, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari, Tulyam Nijantargatam. The same example of mirror and the world, how it is seen, is explained in Dakshinamurti Stotra, number 1. A small body has got a small ahankara, a small mind. The universe is very big. Universe is a big body belonging to Paramatma. Small body belongs to Jiva, Jivatma. The big universe belongs to Paramatma. Paramatma also is of the nature of consciousness and inert substance, which is the world. So both the Jivatma and Paramatma, the nature is the same. Real nature, consciousness. That is what was said in verse number 26. These are all verses which are trying to explain to me my real nature is pure Atma. We are trying to do the discrimination between Atma and body, mind, which is called as Anatma. Next verse.
रज्जुसर्पवदात्मानम् रज्जुसर्पवदात्मानम् जीवं ज्ञात्वा भयं बहेत् जीवं ज्ञात्वा भयं बहेत् नाहं जीवः परात्मेति नाहं जीवः परात्मेति ज्ञातं चेन्निर्भयो भवेत् ज्ञातं चेन्निर्भयो भवेत्.
This is another important verse where the rope snake example is given. What happens in a twilight, dim light? A rope is taken as a snake. So similarly, Shankaracharya says, because we don't know that original pure consciousness, which is called Atma, I take this Jiva, which is the individuality, which is a reflection of consciousness inside a body-mind complex as me. What is the rope snake? The ego with the body-mind. What is the rope? Rope is the Atma, which is pure consciousness. So when the ego gets the knowledge of Atma Bodha, it realizes how it can drop the ego and look inward and see the inner essence of itself as the pure consciousness. Why should I know this Atma? That is a question which is a natural question. Is answered in Tattva Bodha. What are the 4 Purusharthas which we learnt in Tattva Bodha? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama. Following a religious life, Dharma. Artha means gathering objects in the world. Kama means fulfilling our desires. These are the normal things which we all go for. The three Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama. The fourth Purushartha is called as Moksha. Not many people seek moksha. When we come to the spiritual study, indirectly we are seeking freedom, which is called as moksha. Freedom from what? Freedom from the identification with the body mind as I. What does the Atma Bodha teach me? Atma Bodha teaches me I am not the I in this body mind. I am free. I am free from the body mind. I am the pure Atma, which is always there. But what is the body mind complex then? Shankaracharya says, body mind complex is a part and parcel of the law of karma. This Chidabhasa, reflected consciousness, the individuality, the Jiva, who is a Karta and a Bhokra, who is a doer of action, who is an enjoyer of action. This doer and enjoyer of actions will go on in this body till the body survives. At the end of Tattvabodha, we had a discussion on law of karma. We discussed Sanchita, Prarabdha, Agami karma. So, how do I get this freedom? I must move out of this body mind to a higher plane, which is called as Paramarthika Satyam. The rope is called as Paramarthika Satyam compared to the rope snake. Similarly, Atma is called as Paramarthika Satyam compared to the body mind ego complex. So, the more I learn about this Atma Tattvam, which is called as Atma Bodha, the more the more my mind will get the knowledge of how to drop the waker, dreamer, sleeper and hold on to the Atma Turiyam as I. This Atma is defined in Mandukya Upanishad in the seventh mantra. Nanta prajnam, na bahish prajnam, and so on. And in Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter, the 20th verse, the nature of this Atma is given as Najayate mriyate va kadachit. This Atma is never born. And it dies. Normally, what we will think, something which is not born it is not there. But what Bhagavad Gita teaches is there is an Atma which is continuously there, eternally there. Knowing that Atma which is always there and knowing that this Chidabhasa is born, gone. There is birth of a child, there is the death of a person. In between, there were experiences of joy and sorrow. How do you say what? Now, this is as per the law of karma. When you come to Vedanta, how do you analyze the world? This is the way we analyze the world. Birth is there of the body, death is there for the body. In between, whatever happens is transactions. It is as per the law of karma. And it is a jiva who undergoes this birth and death. And this jiva is called as samsari. Now, it is this jiva who understands I am not a samsari, I am the Atma Tattvam, which is never born, which is never gone, but it always is. It is eternal in nature. So what do? I learn to drop the three bodies, panchakoshas, the three states of the body mind complex. And then realize what? The Turiyam Atma I, which is called as Sakshi. So that is the nature of Atma. Every verse in Atma Bodha, it's a jewel. It is very, very beautiful because it teaches me step by step how I look at the world. Next verse.
आत्मावभासयत्येको आत्मावभासयत्येको बुद्ध्यादीनीन्द्रियाण्यपि बुद्ध्यादीनीन्द्रियाण्यपि दीपो घटादिवत् स्वात्मा दीपो घटादिवत् स्वात्मा जडैस्तैर्नावभास्यते जडैस्तैर्नावभास्यते.
Shankaracharya now gets into a new line of thought. Here he explains to us the nature of consciousness with an example. What is the example? Suppose you have a small lamp and you put it in a jar of pot. Now the lamp will illumine the jar as well as itself. Similarly, this light of consciousness is there in the jar of the mind. The mind gets illumined. And when the mind gets illumined, what happens? All the sense organs and the organs of action, they get enlivened. And then they are experiencing the world. The world consists of panchabhutas. They are inert by the sun. Without consciousness, there is no experience of the world at all because the world is inert by nature. So, here Shankaracharya is asking, who will know this Atma? Now, to know the Atma has to become object of knowledge, but it can never become object of knowledge. Therefore, we always say in Vedanta, don't look for Atma outside yourself, claim Atma as your nature. What is Anatma? World, body, mind. All these three are jadam, inert by nature. And what is Atma? Atma is ever consciousness, ever the experiencer, ever the seer, ever the knower. It never becomes a known object. What about Anatma? It is ever the known. It is always an object. It is always seen by someone. I see the universe in front of me, you see the universe in front of you. So universe may be different. Universe is seen, but the seer is always consciousness. Now this position of seer and seen cannot be reversed. Objects cannot become seer. The subject Atma, I, can never become seen. That is what Shankaracharya wants to elaborate in this verse. There are two Upanishad mantras which are quoted by Shankaracharya. One is Keno Upanishad. Na tatra chakshur gacchati, na va gacchati, no manaha. Where the eyes do not go, where the ears cannot go, where the tongue cannot, where the mind cannot go. Why? Because all these are all the ears, eyes can only see objects, but eyes cannot see the subject. So that is the distinction which we are trying to make. Subject is always the subject experiencer, and that experiencer is consciousness. And that consciousness is always existent. Sat. Similarly, in Brahmanic Upanishad, there is this mantra where it says, in duality, one can know something. I can smell something, I can hear something, I can see someone. All this is called duality. So, but what happens to a knower of Brahman or knower of Atma? The knower of Atma does not see anybody. He knows that I alone exist. In the Paramarthika Satyam, like the waker will say, I alone exist in the waking state. I alone become the dreamer with the dream world. I, the Atma, alone become the waker's world and the waker. Atma is never the object of knowledge. That is the essence of this 28th mantra. Then another question will come. Why can't my Atma know your Atma? Usually, these two Atmas can be known. I see you, I know your Atma. You see me, you know my Atma. No. The Upanishad says Atma is Ekaha. It is one. There is no duality in Atma. There is duality in body, in mind, in sense organs. Atma has no parts. Nil avayava swabhava. Body has got parts. It has got legs, it's got hands, it's got a head, it's got a trunk, it's got a spine, it's got the chest, and so on. So body can be known because it has got parts. Atma is one non-dual consciousness. Jadaihi stairhi na avabhasayate. Body mind by nature is inert. They can never know by themselves, or they cannot know Atma also. So in meditation, many people make the mistake. They just try to sit in meditation, quieten the mind, and then look for something to happen. Some object, some light to come, and say, I am the Atma. Shankaracharya says, never wait for anything in meditation. At the end of meditation, your realization should be, I am the pure consciousness without anything. That is what should be your realization at the end of meditation. Whatever you experience is not Atma, but it is Anatma. That's what Keno Upanishad says. Here, I've given you the meaning of the word Deepaha and Gataha. I've already explained to you this example. Like the light, which is lamp, which is kept inside a jar, know that Atma, which is the illuminator of the mind, and the illuminator of the world through the mind and sense organs. That is the nature of Atma. Atma can be never known as an object. It is always known as the subject I. Next verse.
स्वबोधे नान्यबोधे च स्वबोधे नान्यबोधे च बोधरूपतयात्मनः बोधरूपतयात्मनः न दीपस्यान्यदीपेच्छा न दीपस्यान्यदीपेच्छा यथा स्वात्मप्रकाशने यथा स्वात्मप्रकाशने.
This is an extension of the 28th mantra, that lighted lamp. Another aspect of the lighted lamp is a lighted lamp does not require another lamp to illumine the lighted lamp. So similarly, Atma, which is knowledge by itself, I am, is knowledge for all of us. That I am existing is a continuous knowledge for all of us because it never goes. It does not require anything else. That is what Shankaracharya wants to explain here. Atma need not be known as an object. Objects have to be known in the world. Therefore, what do? You go to London, you go to Paris, you go to America, and you want to see the objects in creation there. But the subject I is the same, whether you are in London, whether you are in America, whether you are in Singapore or India. So Atma's existence need not be proved at all. Why? Because Atma is self-existent. Sarvam prakashayati Atma. Atma illumines everything, but Atma exists by it. Suppose you want to know if there are many people who have come for a meeting. What will you say? You will start counting. But what about yourself? To know that you are in the meeting, you are in the room, you don't need to count yourself. You need to say, I am there. That is why I'm counting. So my arrival is not proved by anything. I am self-existent. Everybody else will come and go. I can count, I can count. So Atma, because it is ever-existent principle, ever experiencer principle, ever experienced as what? I am, I am, I am. Try to close your eyes and realize this I am in your own mind. That I am is Atma. Don't project anything in the mind. Don't project any of the world of objects. Suppose you close your eyes and you just sit in meditation and your mind is under control, your sense organs are under control, then whatever you are, that is called as Atma. Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagri, I've already explained to you before. So this Atma, which is called as Turiyam, is the ultimate absolute state, which is never born. This is the I which has to be known through the Veda. This is the I which is revealed, illumined It is enlightened by the scriptures. Our normal body and mind, everybody knows. But that pure I, nobody knows except a jnani. And that jnani who knows that Atma as that pure I, the original consciousness, is the one who is ever free. Why do we say he is ever free? He has got the mukta status, Jivan Mukti, because that Atma is ever free. He knows I am that Atma. Everything else is an Atma. Again, one more time, I will repeat to you. Chit means I, the pure consciousness, which is not the waker, which is not the dreamer, which is not the sleeper. The waker, dreamer, sleeper is Chid Abhasa. It is a reflected consciousness. I have to drop the reflected consciousness and own up the original consciousness as the pure I. For example, suppose there are 10 buckets of water. You see the reflection of sun in all the 10 buckets of water. Now, existence of the reflected sun in the buckets of water is temporary. The original sun, which is there up in the sky, is eternal, relatively eternal compared to the buckets of water with reflection. Similarly, Atma, which is pure, is eternal. The reflected consciousness in the minds of the people is temporary. When the mind is woken up, I am a waker. When the mind goes to sleep, that reflected consciousness is not there. It is dormant condition. So this is the way we should know Atma. A question might rise, if Atma Jnanam is not required and if Atma is self-evident, why does Shankaracharya write a book like Atma Bodha where he gives descriptions of Atma? Atma is like the light, it is a consciousness, it is Sat principle. Shankaracharya says, to learn Atma Jnanam need not be acquired, it is self-evident consciousness. We are studying Atma Bodha. Atma is self-evident, but I don't know that. I take the reflected consciousness as myself. There is the mistake, and that is the mistake which needs to be corrected. The last verse in this third section is the 30th verse, where we are discussing the nature of
निषिद्ध निखिलोपाधि निषिध्य निखिलोपाधि नेति नेतीति वाक्यतः नेति नेतीति वाक्यतः विद्यादैक्यं महावाक्यैः विद्यादैक्यं महावाक्यैः जीवात्मा परमात्मनोः जीवात्मा परमात्मनोः.
another very beautiful verse, very important verse in Atma Bodha. So far, whatever we have studied, this is the most important verse out of the 30 verses. From 1 to 30, if I have to pick one verse which you should remember, it is this verse. What is the beauty of this verse? I have heard up to verse number 29, Atma is like this, Atma is like that, Atma is pure, all that I've heard. But My curiosity about Atma doesn't stop. Atma is like that. It is called as Paroksha. I have heard that this is Atma. Now, I am a very sincere seeker of Atma Bodha. I don't want to know the nature of Atma is like this. I want to know how I can realize that Atma. That is what is explained in this verse. And here it says it is a Mahavakya. In Mahavakya means it tells me how I can realize Atma in my own individual mind. All Mahavakyas reveal that there is a common self between Jivatma and Paramatma. And the most important prakriya method to realize this Atma as the self is neti neti. How do I employ this is what we are going to study in this verse. Atma is not the Annamaya Kosha. Atma is not the Pranamaya Kosha. Atma is not the Manomaya Kosha. Keep on saying, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Ultimately, where will you arrive? I am, which is pure existence, pure consciousness. That I am is Atma. And that Atma is revealed by Mahavakya. So we study scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and Brahma Sutra to know the nature of Atma as self-evident consciousness, which is always there. Balyadishupi jagridadishu tatha sarva avastha swapi. Dakshinamurti's seventh mantra, wonderful message about Atma. In childhood, Atma is there. In youth, Atma is there. In old age, Atma is there. Atma, I am, never changes. Vyavritta swanu vartaman yamahan ityanta sataha sada. That means always this I am, I am, I am, I am. That is called as consciousness. And that is not located. It is not time bound. It is not object. It is not conditioned by any object. Whether the body is old, whether the body is one day born body, Atma is there. Whether the body is 92 years old, Atma is there. There is no change in the Atma in a 1 day old baby and a 92-year-old man. No change in Atma. Whether the body is in a good condition, bad condition, whether you are able to see things well, not able to see, you are not able to hear, you are able to hear, you can't walk, you can walk. Conditions of the body or the mind. For example, my mind is very dull. I can't understand Veda at all. Doesn't matter. Atma is not affected. Atma is the same for all of us. What changes is the reflected consciousness with the sharirams. What are the three sharirams? Sthula shariram, Sukshma shariram, Karana shariram. We have learnt in Atma Bodha. So the shariram has got a location, whereas Atma, the Chaitanyam, is all pervading. Like what? Like the light. Light is there in the entire room, but my hand has got a reflection of that light. Therefore, I can see the hand, I can know the hand. The hand is located, but the Surya Prakasha or the light bulb is pervading the whole room or the whole house. So similarly, the purpose of study of Vedanta is to know that consciousness which is not limited by time, place, or objects. So timeless, objectless, spaceless is Atma Sakshi, which is my real nature. See, again and again in Atma Bodha, we must understand what is my real nature, intrinsic nature, and what is my incidental nature, temporary nature. Body mind is a temporary nature. Experience of the body mind is temporary. Atma is permanent. So, through the inquiry of who am I land up in Mahavakyam. Mahavakyam means it is oneness between the Jiva and Parama. Like I said, in the vision of Veda, the whole universe is Parama. This body is Jiva. There is a common aspect between the Jiva and Paramatma. That common element is expressed as a Mahavakya. In Taittiriya Upanishad, which belongs to Rig Veda, there is a Mahavakyam, Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is Brahman. Brahman means it is the totality, reality, total reality. Then in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which belongs to Yajur Veda, Aham Brahma Asmi. I am that Brahman, which is indicating the reality, which is indicating the common aspect between Jiva and Paramatma. What is that common aspect? Don't forget it. It is the same consciousness which we have been studying till now, which we said in the last mantra, we can know by Neti Neti. Chandogya Upanishad says, Tattvamasi. You are that. The teacher tells the student, you are that consciousness, that is Samaveda. Atharva Veda is Mandukya Upanishad, I am Atma Brahma. So there are 4 Mahavakyams in the Veda. There are many Mahavakyams, but we select 4 of them which tell us how to do this inquiry. There is a text called as Rama Gita, and it says, how should we do this inquiry about Atma? It says that original consciousness, the original Atma, appears as this Jiva and Parama. Samashti is called as, Samashti means total. It appears, it is an appearance, it is not the reality. Reality is one. Original face is one. It appears in 2 different concave lens and in convex mirror and concave mirror. There are 2 reflections. One reflection is Jivatma, another reflection is Paramatma. One is a Sthula Shariram, another is Sthula Prapancha. One is Sukshma Shariram, another is Sukshma Prapancha. One is Alpa Shaktiman, Alpagnya. Alpagnya means limited knowledge. This body will always be limited. As body, it will always be limited. As ahamkara, it will always be limited. But as ego, I cannot take this as my real nature. What is my real nature? Original consciousness, which is common to both Jivatma and Parama. That original consciousness is the subject matter of our study. So, Samashti Pratibimba Chaitanyam, these are all technical words, which Samashti Pratibimba Chaitanyam means what? It means that reflection in the total world. So, in reflection in the total, that reflection is called as Paramatma, Ishvara. Now, Ishvara being total, he is Sarvajnyaha, Sarva Shaktiman, he is total knower. See, we may wonder, does a concept like this exist? I know I am existing. How do I know Paramatma Ishvara is existing? For that, you need Shraddha in the Ved. First, you accept that there is an Ishvara. There is a there is a creator of this universe. Accept it. If you accept it only, you will then reach your final destination of moksha. If you don't accept Ishvara, then you cannot reach your final destination at all. So, as Jivatma, I say there is a consciousness in me. As Paramatma in the world totality, there is a consciousness in that whole universe. I learned to drop the bodies and the prapanchas and own up the entire substrat as the ultimate nature of Jivatma and Param. Kathopanishad says this Atma is subtler than the subtlest, greater than the greatest, and it is there in the cavity of each one of us. By Bhagatyaga Lakshana, by knowing how to drop the inner body, you will be known, you will learn how to hold on to that consciousness. Na iti, na iti. This mind is not Atma. This prana is not Atma. This Buddha is not Atma. This Ananda, which is reflected Ananda, which I experience in the world, is not Atma. They are all reflections. Again and again, when my mind does this inquiry, the mind gets acclimatized to the truth. See, first time when I listen to the truth, I am Chidananda, it never has any impact in my mind. But the more number of times I listen to the Shastra again and again and again and again, till the impact comes, keep studying. First time Shravanam is done, Shravanam means listening. You don't grasp anything. But in the last Shravanam, when you will realize I have grasped everything because I know my real nature. So after several listenings, repeated Shravanam, one understands the relevance of Mahavakyam. It may take a few years, but the only method to realize the summit of the entire spiritual journey is repeatedly listening to the Upanishads. And in the Upanishads, you have to focus on the Mahavakyams. That is what is the essence of the 30th verse. From 31st verse to the 40th verse, 41st, 31 to 41, we are going to study how to assimilate this knowledge with some examples. So, a lot of examples will be taught in this section. Let's start with the 31st verse.
आवित्यकं शरीरादि आवित्यकं शरीरादि दृश्यं बुद्बुधवत्क्षरम् दृश्यं बुद्बुधवत्क्षरम् एतद्विलक्षणं विद्याद् एतद्विलक्षणं विद्यात् अहं ब्रह्मेति निर्मलम् अहं ब्रह्मेति निर्मलम्.
Beautiful example is given by Shankaracharya in this verse. We all, as children, have seen bubbles rising from a bucket of water, or bubbles rising when there is rainfall. That is an example. Now, what Shankaracharya says is, from the consciousness which is the substratum of the entire world, everything is a bubble. All objects perceived are bubble. My thoughts are bubbles. The mountains and rivers are bubbles in consciousness. My attention should be turned from the bubble to the substratum, which is Brahman. Brahman is consciousness. Now, these are from 31st onwards, this section is called Manam. Up to 30th verse, it is called as Shravanam. Shravanam means you first listen to the scriptures as what is the nature of Atma. Now it is Manana. When I try to think about Atma, how should I think about Atma in my mind? Very beautiful section, 31 to 40. Totally there are 68 verses. So differentiating factors are sharirams. My body is different than your body. My thoughts are different than your thoughts. These are all differences. But the consciousness which illumines your mind, consciousness which illumines my mind is the same. If you know between you and me, then it is the world also. In the world also, consciousness is one. Bubbles are fleeting and disappearing. Sharirams are fleeting and disappearing. But consciousness is eternal. Drishyam means seen objects. Drik means the seer. I, the seer, put on the ego dress. And then I experience the waking state, dream state, sleep state. But I, without the three states, without the three dresses, that I is pure Atma. The bubbles are the waker, dreamer, sleeper. The teacher says, Tattvamasi, you are that pure Nirgunam Brahma. Nirgunam means there is no gunas. Gunas means Prakriti. Prakriti means nature. Nature means Panchabhutas, five elements. The whole world is made up of five elements, but the substratum of the five elements is Atma. This Atma is Nirmalam, without any impurities, without any samsaric problems. There is no birth and death for Atma, therefore there is no samsara for Atma. See, all of us, when we enter into the study of Atma Bodha, our main goal is what? Dukkha Nivriti and Sukha Prapti. I want to get rid of all the sorrows. I want to gain all the happiness in the world. Eternal happiness is what I want. What does Atma Bodha teach you? The Atma Bodha teaches us that my Swarupam is Nirmalam. Nirmalam means there is no impurity in Atma. Realizing this, I become free. I get muktaha. Muktaha means I get freedom from thinking about I as the individuality in this body. See, you may say that, in 1 hour study of Atma Bodha, I'm listening to all this and really, can it really happen like this? The moment I close my laptop and I go back to my world, I am not the Atma, I am the complete Anatma, the experiencer of the world. Is it really possible what you're teaching me is the truth? That will be the doubt of many junior seekers. For that, Shankaracharya says, you must listen again and again. Consistent, systematic study for a length of time under the guidance of a competent live teacher is very, very important for spiritual study. Continuously study for 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, doesn't matter. Till your mind says, I am the Atma, I am free, I am Jivan Muktaha, I don't have birth, I don't have death, I am eternal consciousness. Till this conviction comes to you, keep on learning, keep on doing Shravanam, keep on doing Manana. So, one verse we have completed the 31st verse of how to do Manana. Another verse about Mananam is the 32nd verse.
देहान्यत् वान्न मे जन्म देहान्यत् वान्न मे जन्म जराकार्ष्यलयादयः जराकार्ष्यलयादयः शब्दादिविषयैः सङ्गः शब्दादिविषयैः सङ्गः निरिन्द्रियतया न च निरिन्द्रियतया न च.
For those seekers who want to meditate, who want to start meditation, the verses from 31 to 41 are excellent words. How should you meditate? First, listen to the mantra. Read the meaning of the mantra. Close your eyes and then bring the meaning of the mantra in your mind. Dwell on the meaning for 5 minutes. Then open your eyes and come out. This is beginner's meditation. Excellent verses for meditation, Vedantic meditation. In the 32nd mantra, Shankaracharya teaches a junior seeker how to meditate. In the seat of meditation, you should say the following statement. I am not the body which is born, which grows, which dies. I have nothing to do with the sense organs and the mind which experiences the world. They are all experienced, but they are not me. They are Drishyam. I am the Drik, ever the Drik, never changing, always the experiencer consciousness. In me, the consciousness, there is no world, there is no body. I always am. That is the meditation. This is called internalization, assimilation of the teaching from 15 to 30. 15 to 30 was Shravanam. This is Mananam and Nididhyasanam. Consciously trying to say, I am not the body, I am the consciousness. It is called as Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam means I am dropping my old personality, that I am the jiva, individual jiva, the mother or a father or sister or brother. But in the seat of meditation, I learn to bring back the knowledge of Atma and own and claim that Atma Swarupam as my real nature. What is there in the conscious mind is the world of plural. I have to negate that world of plurality and bring to that conscious mind. I have to replace it with the knowledge of Atma. Then you will say, what is the use of doing all this? Why should I do all this, sit in meditation and think and claim and all that? It seems very difficult. Shankaracharya says, if you do this, you will have tremendous benefit. What is the benefit? The frequency, intensity, and response, FIR, will keep on coming down. See, whenever we respond to a situation, a lot of negative responses come to us. That negative responses will drop. The intensity in which I experience the world, that also drops. Suppose suppose I get mad at somebody, and then I don't talk with somebody for say 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. It happens to most of all of us. Our mind has become is keeps on remembering that incident, and then it wants to live in that mode. I want to come out of it. How do I come out of it? By having the Atma Jnanam. So in Vivek Chodamani, there are beautiful verses from 254 to 470. That are 217 verses. Here I am talking about 12 verses. Gita, chapter 6, and Mandukya Upanishad also has meditation verses. All this to say that the ego I is a vesham. Every day in the morning, when you get in the morning, you say, this is a dress I am putting for the purpose of law of karma. That's it. Something the body has done in the previous life, it is just undergoing something. But who am I? I am Nitya Shuddham, Nirvikaram, Asangoham. Asangoham means I am not at all connected with the world of events. Spending 5 minutes on the 5 features of Atma and dropping the 3 sharirams is the best method for Nididhyasanam. Manisha Panchakam also gives the same clue. of how to do meditation, and by simply repeating to yourself, I am the pure Brahman, pure consciousness. I am the witness of my body which is undergoing this prarabdha karma. I am not the anatma which is a property of Ishvara. It is not my property. I am ever pure consciousness. I have no sambandha with the anatma body. Swami Chinmayananda used to say 32nd to 42nd verse by heart. Like you by heart the verses in Vivek Chodamani where we say Brahma Tattvamasi Bhavayatmani. There is one section where meditation verses are there. There are a lot of meditation verses in my website. Almost 200 sessions of meditations are there for beginners and advanced seekers. So, whenever you are able to say, I am the ever free Atma, the sense organs are not me, the sense objects are not me, and I disown the ego which has got birth, which has got old age, which has got death, then I am claiming the truth. With this, I will close today's session. Next week, we will start with the 33rd mantra. These are excellent mantras, like I said. If you want to by heart it, you can by heart it. If you have that agility of the mind, uh, so we'll start with the 33rd verse next week. Now I will close the session. Purnamada Purnam Purnat Purnamudachade Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. If you have a question, you can raise your hand and you can ask. These are very, very simple mantras for beginners who are trying to enter the spiritual study. If you study these mantras well, you can pick up the advanced texts very, very well. It's important you study these texts well. See, for example, you want to revise. What you should do, you should just go through the 30 verses, just the meaning of those verses, and then mark in your own book how to, which are the mantras. For example, out of the 68 verses, you should have about maximum 10 mantras of Atma Bodha. Similarly, in Tattva Bodha, have about 10 mantras or 5 mantras. And once a month, just throw them in your spare time for about half an hour. Just go through the word meaning. This way, what will happen? You will be able to remember. For example, today we had studied Neti Neti. That mantra should remain in the back of your mind. How I should do meditation? Keep dropping, keep dropping. So from a junior seeker, you become a senior seeker by proper study. There is no breaks in the spiritual journey. You must continue your you must continue consistently the study. That is the beauty of this entire session. Okay, Eddie, there was a Mukesh had raised his hand before. I don't know whether he
Yeah,
still has a question. Mukesh, go ahead.
yes, sir. I am finding your lectures very useful and very interesting, but only I am finding them very difficult to comprehend maybe because I did not attend the Tattva Bodha classes. I have bought the Tattva Bodha and the Atma Bodha book from
Chinmay
Mr.
Mission?
Chinmay Vision, yes. And I'm
Correct.
now going through them. And
Yes.
I hopefully in another class or two, I will be able to catch up and be able to understand.
Okay. Have you got from us my videos of the classes which I have taken on Atma Bodha, Tattva Bodha? Have you got that?
I've been able to locate them on the YouTube, and off
Yeah.
and on I go to the YouTube channels and keep on listening to them.
Okay. And in case you want for your private in your laptop,
Mhm.
the my sessions, you can write to us and we'll send you a complete list of all the videos which are available on YouTube. See, in
I will do
YouTube,
that.
sometimes when you go through, you may be distracted, but you get from us a
Okay.
complete set of videos which I send
Mhm.
to all my students who write to me in the beginning. In the
Okay.
beginning
I'll do that.
itself, I sent to all the people all the videos. In that, you will find Atma Bodha and Tattva Bodha talks which are there. You go through them, uh, you will understand these sessions in much more detail. See, the beauty is it is a graded teaching. Like you do kindergarten, you go to the primary school, then secondary school, then you go to college. Similarly, in Vedanta also, Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha is a definitely a must. You must know these two texts
I
because
realize that, sir. I
yeah,
realize.
no problem. You can go through it.
Mhm.
You study it slowly,
And how do I
and
write to you? I put a message on the WhatsApp, or how do I get in touch
yeah,
with you?
Shanmugam will give you the WhatsApp address now, and also you can
Okay.
write to us at vedantastudents at gmail.com.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that.
Shanmugam, can you put the Gmail address as well as the WhatsApp? Can you please type it so that Mukesh can note it down? Our WhatsApp telephone number and that is for sending a WhatsApp. And
Okay.
then for sending an email,
Mhm.
you can send an email to that address,
Sure.
which
I'll do that.
Shanmugam is taking now. So this is the
Okay.
number for WhatsApp. My website is updated. It's got
Right.
a lot of videos, got a lot of notes. Tremendous. It's this website of mine has got everything for a seeker. If you are a junior seeker, it caters to you. If you want meditation, it caters to you. If you want advanced text uh, of Bhashyam, Shankaracharya's Bhashyam, it caters to you. So my website is fairly complete. It's a good website for those people who are interested in this subject matter.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, so write to
Yes.
us, send us a WhatsApp, and we will send you a complete list. We have a
Okay, sir.
ready-made list. We send it daily. There are at least about 100 people who write to us, and we send them this every month. We send complete list of all these talks, and then you can choose. If you're a junior
Okay, sir.
seeker, now, for example, Mukesh, you know that Tattva Bodha is important. But
Mhm.
don't miss any class. Because in a class, what happens is, even if you're a newcomer, you must start attending the classes. Continue the classes. Catch up with whatever you can in your free time with the Tattva Bodha.
Right, sir.
Because in the class itself, I'll be repeating entire whatever I said in Tattva I will be repeating it.
I'm finding that you are repeating many things which I am learning now.
Good, very good.
Mm. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mukesh.
Thank
Yeah, Shama, you wanted to say something?
Shekharji, just a quick question and more on the practice side of things. From from your classes, I gather that meditation is absolutely fundamental, isn't it?
Absolutely right. You're right. See,
Yeah.
meditation helps you
Hmm.
in two things. Number one, it makes your mind focused, single
Hmm.
pointed, concentrated. Slowly, your mind will start becoming more and more focused. A focused mind is not only required for spiritual study, also for our vyavahara, for our
Hmm.
transactions in the world, you need a
Absolutely.
focused mind.
Correct. Correct.
So 5 minutes or 10 minutes of meditation, it helps you. That is the first benefit of meditation. The second benefit of meditation is in meditation, you try to remember one or two verses about this Atma mentioned between verses 31 to 41.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Just look at that verse. It says, I am not the body, I am not the mind, or Nirvana Shatkam, or Neti Neti. But these Atma Bodha verses are very, very simple. And it goes direct to the point. See, for a person who has not meditated correctly in life, these verses of Atma Bodha are excellent. They are for people who have just got into. Then what happens when you meditate on these verses? That knowledge that I am the Atma, for example, today, let's take today's example. What did we learn? We learned today that this entire waker is a waker. The entire waker and waking is the ego, and this ego is false.
Hmm.
And throughout my life, I am a waker only. So what does it mean? That waker is experience, no doubt, but the substratum of that waker is consciousness, is Atma. The ego I, which is waker, coming every day. Last week or 2 weeks back, you had asked me a question. Every day, are we seeing a new world or not? And I told you, yes, we are seeing a new world because you're waking up to a new world. Every day you are waking up to a new world. The ego has changed, the world has changed, and even though it appears to be the same, but your thoughts are changing. See, your thoughts are changing, therefore the world is changing. So,
Shekharji,
ego I is that waker, and what the Shankaracharya teaches us in this Atma, very simple way he tells us, whatever the ego I is experiencing is mithya, and I am Satyam. I am the consciousness which is the experiencer, which is behind the ego.
uh-huh. So, Shekharji, and here what you're suggesting is a quite a systematic approach, isn't it, in the
Very, very
meditation?
systematic. Without the
Uh,
systematic study, you cannot understand the final truth.
in terms of meditation, what you're
Yeah, in terms
suggesting
of
is to,
meditation, also, there is a systematic. Go through these 32, 31 to 40, 41. Go
uh-huh,
through these verses.
uh,
Try it out in meditation for, say, 2 months, 3 months. Take a goal and say, every day I'm going to just meditate on one verse, only
uh-huh.
one verse.
Okay.
Just take it one verse, meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. Get up.
And that's interesting. You say 5 to 10 minutes.
That's all. Don't sit in meditation for 1 hour and 1.5 hours. And most of the people
Huh.
who tell me that they meditate for 3 hours, 2 hours,
Mm.
I tell them, please don't stop it
Uh-huh.
because you are getting caught in Maya. You're
Uh,
not meditating. You're getting caught up in Maya,
correct.
and that is not the goal of meditation. The goal of
Uh,
meditation is Atmajnana.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And
Atma is,
how daily, and should it be a fixed time? Because I'm just trying to narrow it down so that it is.
preferably whatever time you get up,
Huh.
you just set a time after you get up, whenever you're free after you get up, half an hour or 1 hour after you get up. Set up 5 to 10 minutes. Just sit down and think about Atma to
Should
the
one?
exclusion of all anatma.
Okay,
Very
okay, okay.
important. Atma meditation is with exclusion of all anatma thoughts.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Give it a try. I'm just saying, okay, you can say I will start with meditation on every Friday, once a week at least.
Like
And
daily,
Friday,
unless one
remember,
does it
today is a
every.
day of meditation. I must spend 10 minutes on meditation. If you are able to do it daily at a specific time, in the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when
Huh,
Shankaracharya gives the Bhashyam,
huh.
he says, every day take a specific time, a specific place where you will sit down. At the same time, at the same place, you sit down, and that will become a habit for you after some time. You
So
will
that's
never,
really, ideally, that's really how it should be done.
yeah, you will never miss meditation in life.
Uh, These are, and because you're saying it's a short time, so none of those nidra and sleep and all of those things cannot affect, isn't it?
No, no, no.
Because,
See,
yeah,
initially for a seeker, initially the nidra will be an obstacle. Nidra means sleep.
yeah,
By habit, you close your eyes, the mind says you have to sleep. That aspect you will get over it. If you practice for 4 or 5 sessions, immediately the mind will say this is meditation time, not sleeping time. So you will get over the small obstacles, and soon you will realize. See, in advanced talks, Shankaracharya says that the best way is to keep telling yourself that I am the Atma, I am the Atma. He says in many for advanced seekers. Initially, you meditate. Like I said, you meditate one verse.
uh-huh,
After some time, he says, Shankaracharya says, you don't have to do that specific meditation, sitting down meditation. What you
uh-huh.
do, you tell yourself, even when you're walking on the garden, when
Yeah,
you're,
yeah, yeah.
you just tell yourself, I'm the Atma. I'm ever free. I'm
That
not the ego.
anyways, that anyways, it is very definitely a shift in the awareness level. So
Correct.
regardless of what one is doing, you're able to see like this is your body doing or this is your mind
Correct.
doing, but
Yes.
I'm not actually,
No,
in
but
there. So then,
deliberately telling it in your mind
huh,
helps you to take it to your subconscious mind.
yes, yes.
You see,
So,
you whatever you are saying deliberately. For
huh,
example, if suppose you're walking in the garden and you're saying to yourself, "I'm the Atma. I'm the pure consciousness, and whatever I'm experiencing in the world is mithya."
yeah.
And
So
you
it's,
suppose you go around and say in your walk, you're able to say 3 times, four
huh,
times.
okay. Is that the reason why you send only one verse a day, on your Vedanta
Yeah,
students?
you
Yeah.
must do, don't take too many verses because mind doesn't have the capacity. See,
Okay.
mind has a very limited capacity to sit and contemplate. In that contemplation, take one or two small steps.
Okay. 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 Yeah.
For
Makes
example, I
sense.
told you the ego I is a false I, like the false snake.
Mm-hmm.
Rope is Atma. Rope is eternal.
Mm-hmm.
Eternal is my nature.
Mm-hmm.
I hold on to my eternal nature. After some time, you will realize that whatever you have meditated on becomes truth for you.
Yeah.
Automatically, it becomes a truth for you.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense, Shikhaji. But it's really interesting to hear it like this, because otherwise, even here, today you said something very nice about there is a kind of a knowledge which you're deriving from your mind source, and there is another one which is coming from a thought.
Correct.
So there is two kind of a
Yeah,
reflective
correct. There is
consciousness.
Samanya Jnana, which
Mm,
is called as reflected consciousness in your mind.
correct.
Then there is Vishesha Jnana, which is
Ah,
thought
ah.
oriented. Whatever thoughts you are developing, whatever thoughts, it can belong to the world, it can belong to the body, it belongs to the Atma. So
So this,
normally a person will think only about the world. He will never think about the Atma.
so this really, the meditation is doing work on the thought level, isn't it? You are
Absolutely.
deliberately actually meditating on the verses. So that's
Yes.
what, yeah. So you're actually modifying that thought vritti.
Yes. See,
Okay.
changing the direction of the thoughts is the most difficult.
Ha
The
ha ha.
quantity of thoughts, the quality of thoughts, it is easy,
Yes.
but changing the direction of thoughts from anatma world to the atma is the
Mm,
most difficult for all of us.
yeah.
And Vedanta ultimately is happening only at the thought level.
Mm-hmm.
At the thought, at the cognitive level, I must realize I
Mm.
am not the body mind, I am the Atma.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
am the Atma, and that is only at the mind level. And the
Mm.
mind has to remain calm, it has to remain quiet when you are contemplating on Atma.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that impact should grow as
Mm.
you do meditation, and that Atma impact will grow, will keep on increasing.
And so, although you've said it's the fixed time, which is a perfect idea, but suppose you get a chance, the same thought you can keep at other different times, the same, the thought if it comes, on the mantra,
Yeah, problem.
if it
At
for the
other
rest
times
of the
also,
day,
yeah,
if it comes at other times, so
good,
it is perfectly okay, isn't it?
perfectly okay, no problem.
Yeah.
That means you
Thank you.
have already started getting the strength of mind to
Huh.
contemplate without actually sitting in meditation, which is good.
Yeah, perfect. So thank you so much, Shekharji. Sorry for asking these silly sort of questions.
Okay. Thank you, Shama. Okay, Lakshmi says the notes are good. Sugandhi says snake and rope analogy. Okay. Shimali, correct. Sugandhi, what you should say is that the rope snake is nothing but it is the ego which is born every day in our body mind complex. Ego. The moment I get up, I say, I am the mother, I'm a son, I'm a daughter. That is all the rope snake, which is false. What is the rope? Rope is the consciousness which is behind that thoughts of I am this, I am that, I have to do this, I am suffering, I'm happy. All that, whether you are happy or sorrowful, both are mithya. So slowly I have to turn that attention from the ego I and go towards the self, which is what you have said uh, in your note here, which is correct. So okay, so am I clear, Sugandhi?
Yes, sir. Okay, like this rope and snake example. They said if you, let's say, if I saw a snake and I want to know whether it is a rope, so I need to like like how to say, stare at the snake, and I realize it is a rope, right?
You have to bring a torchlight and see the snake as a rope.
Okay.
So, how do you bring the torchlight in the case of the Atma and Anatma? The torchlight is the verses of the Veda. The Vedic verses, like it tells you, Atma is you. The torchlight is the Guru who teaches these verses. He brings the torchlight inside your mind and he shows you that this ego I is not you.
Okay, okay, okay.
And when you're sleeping, the ego I is not there, but you are there. So who is that I which is there and the ego is not, I is not there? The Guru is pointing you to that condition of your own self, not the condition of your mind. Mind has gone to sleep, but you are existing as the pure I, the Atma I, and that I is your true nature. That is Atma Bodha. That is the rope. Comparative to the rope, snake example, which is the ego I, which is the waker I, dreamer I, sleeper I. The rope I is the Atma I. The more I contemplate that the rope snake is false, the ego I is a false entity which is born. Why is it getting born? It is because of law of karma. That's all. Veda says it is law of karma, and I drop it. I drop it and I take that as anatma. Am I clear, Sugandhi?
Yes, sir. For example, like I bring my attentions to my sense of I amness. I said, I'm like Suganti, my sense. Okay, then that is false, is it?
Okay. Oh, good. You see, this is how you start understanding Atma. See, whenever you say I, Sugandhi is referring to what? Sugandhi is referring to a body. Sugandhi is referring to a mind. So, Sugandhi is a name and it refers to a particular form of body and thoughts. But Atma is the consciousness which is revealing this. See, body by itself cannot do this I am, it cannot do it because body is inert. Body is inert. But then we all experience our body as sentient, conscious, knowingness. Everything is there. What you're trying to do is separate the body which is inert and consciousness which is also there in the body, which is making it sentient. Slowly, you will understand when I say I, it has got two constituents. One constituent is the body mind complex, the second constituent is the Atma complex. Most of us, we take the body mind as the I and we don't even know about Atma. Till you come to Atma Bodha, Tattva Bodha, these spiritual talks, you will always take the body mind as the Atma, which is what you are doing now. You are saying, I am Sugandhi. When you say Sugandhi, it means it refers to the body. There is another aspect in you which you don't know today. That slowly will start coming up when you start meditating. When you start meditating, when you start listening to these type of talks, slowly there will be a change. There will be a distance created between consciousness and the body, the mind and the body. You have to have, it takes time, but slowly keep listening. The listening part is what you should do initially. So I know that you may not understand 100% about what we teach in Atma Bodha, but you will be able to You will be able to slowly understand this as we go further and further in our studies. Am I clear, Sugandhi?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Ego is not true self, Graham says. So you had want to distance yourself from ego, wouldn't you? Yes, correct. So ego, I means what? The I which says I am the body. The I in this which says I am the mind. I am a baker. I am a son. I am male. I am this. All this is ego. Consciousness cannot talk. Consciousness by itself is only a revealer of this thought. So the I notion is always a mixture of consciousness and the inert body mind. You have to separate the ego from the consciousness. And as you study, slowly you will understand how you should do that. As we study further and further in Atma Bodha, you will, for example, today I told you, ego is a common name for all of us. You have an ego, I have an ego, everybody has an ego. Through that ego only, we are transacting in the world. Now, this ego is waker plus dreamer plus sleeper. That is the ego. Now, what is the one which eliminates this ego? How do you say I am the waker, I am the sleeper, I went to sleep yesterday? There is some other element, there is some other consciousness element, a sentient element. Body by itself is inert. It cannot say I am a waker. When you say I am so and so, all that is because it is mixed with consciousness. And slowly correcting this ego, that it is not the waker I, it is not the dreamer I, it is not the sleeper I, but it is the consciousness which is in all the three eyes. In dream also you're conscious. In waking also you're conscious. In sleep the consciousness is there, but you're not conscious because your mind has gone to sleep. So in all the three aspects, consciousness continues. What Veda says is consciousness not only continues between waker, dreamer, and sleeper, it also continues in your every birth. Birth is of the body and mind only. Body, mind come together and then a child is born. But consciousness is not born, consciousness never dies. That is what you have to meditate. I, the consciousness, am never born. It's a very, very powerful meditation which every seeker has to do, because body is me is very powerful notion in my mind. Every seeker has to do, then only that body as me will go away. Then what is it replaced by? It is replaced by I am Atma, the consciousness. Till this happens, you will have doubts. Till this happens, you will have obstacles in realizing Atma. So that is why we say this notion has to somehow or the other has to be dropped. I am the body. How will it get dropped? Only by bringing another new thought. What is the new thought? I am Atma. I am never born. I never die. Suppose this goes into your subconscious mind, you will get rid of fear in life. You will never be fearful about old age. Oh, whatever happens to the body, I am not bothered. Because you have meditated. People who have meditated, I am never born, never die, they are fearless in life. never afraid of death, and never afraid of anything in life, because in their subconscious mind, they have understood all experiences are born and gone, born and gone, born and gone. For a certain period of time, you are sad. For a certain period of time, you become happy. But those moments of joy or happiness never are there permanently. All of us are seeking something permanent in life. There is only one thing permanent in life, which is Atma, which is the study which we do, Atma Bodha. A very concentrated study of Atma in 68 verses, especially the 31 to 41, which we'll continue next week. It's very, very important. Understand that. So, Graham, am I clear?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Nandu had a question. You were raising an hand before Gohan. Nandu, you have anything?
Yeah, Hariam sir.
Yeah.
No any question, but just maybe like a request in future. You mentioned about like a Tattva Buddha and Atma Buddha, and then maybe you can go back to like Bhagavad Gita. And in your notes, the little reference came about like a Rama Gita. And I believe you have very rich text already there on the website and all. Maybe in future, is there any plan? Because I think those are just like 68, 70 slokas only. And it is something similar message what we are going to get in like Bhagavad Gita. So I believe that is like a very in short, like compact text, but maybe which require maybe your detailed guidance.
So what you're saying is, you want me to take up the important verses of Bhagavad Gita? Is that what you're saying?
Rama Gita, Rama Gita.
Huh?
Rama Gita, Rama Gita.
Rama Gita.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Rama Gita. Okay. It's a long time I have done it. I took that text. I mean, I haven't taught Rama Gita at all. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see if there
But
is
your
a.
like notes I have gone through, and it's like very beautiful text is
Yeah,
already there.
correct. I will
And I
see.
believe like we have seen like I mean heard like Ramayana and everything at several places. But
Yeah,
Rama Gita which is like a summary which is about talking like Adhyatma Ramayana. And
correct.
this will be like maybe
This is
useful for
how
yeah.
Rama got enlightened by his guru Vasishta. Okay,
Yeah,
I will look into it maybe sometime. I have right now I have a program of after Atma Bodha. I want to do Bhagavad Gita. Maybe sometime I will do whatever you are saying. Maybe for a short 1 or 2 sessions, I will probably take Rama Gita. Take the important mantras, and maybe I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's about like Lord Sri Rama telling the truth to like Lakshmana.
Correct.
So like we consider like Rama as like a 7th incarnation, and maybe the same message in the 8th incarnation of like Lord Vishnu. Bhagavad Gita
Yes.
is like more elaborated.
Let me see.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they know Bhagavad Gita, they don't know much about Rama Gita. So the demand for Bhagavad Gita is far more than Rama Gita at the current time.
Yeah, agree.
But I understand your suggestion. I might take it as a small gap between 2 courses. Maybe I will do Ram Gita. Never know. I'll review that and I'll let you know.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Gohan, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Namaskar, Hari Om.
Yeah.
I am a relatively very junior student, sir. I joined for Tattva Bodha, now in Atma Bodha.
Good.
One thing I realized from your lectures, that to realize Atma, we need the Anatma's help. Basically, we are decrying about Anatma. This is my body-mind complex is the one that will get destroyed, that is not permanent. But the point is, to realize Atma, it is the decision of this body-mind complex. Basically, that is the catch. The Anatma has to help itself to realize the Atma. That is the most difficult part, isn't it, sir?
Yes, you're right. Yeah, who realizes this Atma? Atma is not realizing itself. It is the Anatma which is mixed up together with Atma. It is trying to realize its real nature. See, whenever you say body or mind, you must know it is a mixture. It is not the body alone which is trying to realize. Body alone is only it is only anatma. It is only jadam. Mind also is subtle body. It is inert. It is
Understood,
jadam.
sir.
So it cannot ask the question also that
Yes, sir.
so who is the one who is asking, who wants to be free?
Hello.
Yeah. So the one who is asking the question is the jiva, which is a mixture of Atma and Anatma.
Okay.
So that Jiva is there in this body today. The Jiva thinks that it is the body and it keeps on suffering in life because it thinks that it is the body, it thinks that it is the waker, it thinks that it is the Sugandhi or Guhan, it thinks that it is a limited body mind complex. Now, that limitation has to be dropped. How will you drop the limitation of this I in this body, which is a mixture of inert and consciousness? It is a mixture, strange mixture. It is mithya. That is what we call it as mithya. And this is mysterious. Suppose, you see, I am the Atma, I am ever the Atma, I am eternal. Suppose this jiva knows that Atma as its real nature, then there is no problem. Then the body experiences it just goes through it, but then it is not bothered. So that is the study which you are making. The study is for a jiva which is a mixture of Atma and Anatma, which is making an error, thinking that the body which is born and it is gone, it is that today that ego I is directed outside to the body and to the world. That ego which is directed to the body, which is aware of the body and which is aware of the world, has to turn direction to another self.
Okay.
What is that other self? Other self is the Atma alone.
Okay.
And you talks. So Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha are great texts trying to define the problem to you first. The problem, once you know, then you know, okay, I must study Bhagavad Gita, I must study Upanishad, I must study the Brahma Sutra for a firmer knowledge about Atma.
Okay.
See, only when you come to this type of study, you try to discover there is some mistake in my understanding about myself. Till that time, what do you do? I mean, normally, suppose you take another person who has never come to Vedanta, who has never studied this. What is his frame of mind or her frame of mind? Her frame of mind is, I am the body, I am born to my parents, I am undergoing sorrow or happiness. Life is always a mixture. Some days are sorrowful, some days are happy, and then that is the way everybody is like that only. If you ask 99.9% of the people, they are in that boat only. Only rare people like you will say, is it, by some chance you come to study the Shastra. That's what Vivek Chudamani text says. Out of million people, one person will come to Shastra to understand and ask the question, who am I? And then the spiritual journey starts. And then the Guru shows you the torchlight and says, you are not that ego I, which is what Shankaracharya is teaching in verses 31 to 41. This ego is born every day in the morning. We think that we are born only when I am born, say 50 years ago, 30, when I was given birth by my parents. But that is only the body. That is only birth of a body. But every day I am born into this world as the ego I. Because ego I is always fresh. It always wants to experience new things every day in the morning. Every day it wants to experience. It wants to experience only good things. But the problem is, ego I is uncontrollable. It is something which is not, which I have no, it is under the law of karma. Anyway, I'm digressing too much. So, Guhan, you have understood?
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Good.
sir.
Thank you. Anybody else has a question? If not, we will stop here. Okay, so we'll continue next week with the 32nd verse. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Shekharji, sir.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Bharat.
you and Hariom Shekharji.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank